All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another post-fight discussion video. All right, y'all, let's talk about it. Josiane Nunes versus Zarah Fairn. All right, y'all. So, like I said, I just had some other things to do. Had to come down from the fight high, but I wanted to come back and definitely discuss this fight because y'all know this is a fighter that I'm high on, Josiane Nunes, and I was curious as to what Zarah Fairn was going to offer going into this fight. But I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. Josiane Nunes right off top, she's got to move down in weight. These girls, they get big. They're going to get bigger, and they're going to get stronger, and they're going to get more powerful. So Josiane Nunes, she's going to have to find that home at 135 or possibly 125, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But, yeah, man, Zarah Fairn, she was definitely looking at her resume, and she was looking things over, and she said, you know what, I got to go in here and make something happen. And that's what I thought was going to happen in the first round. Right away, she started letting off some nice leg kicks and some body kicks, man. She was just dropping the levels and, landing some good shots on Josiane. Then she, started to land some big uppercuts and overhand rights, and she just had Josiane Nunes, overwhelmed at first when she started letting those heavy hands go, right? So, like I said in that first fight with her first fight with Megan Anderson, whenever she rocked Megan had to take her to the ground, right? So I was like, maybe she's going to do something like that in this fight. She knows that she's the bigger, stronger fighter, so she'll probably try to land something big. And she landed a few big shots, but she kind of let her foot off the gas. She just kept that same pace where she was just landing these nice little uppercuts and hard kicks, but she wasn't really, sitting on her shots, and she let Josiane Nunes back into the fight. I think she clearly won the first round, Zarah did. But going into the second round, she let Josiane Nunes start pushing her back and start cracking her with those left hands. Josiane Nunes was really having trouble reaching her chin, but she never stopped trying. She kept pressing her to the cage, and she kept pushing her way in, punching all high, trying to get those big shots off. And it was kind of funny watching because it's just the size difference. But I had to give the girl credit, man. Josiane never stopped trying. And when she got Zarah to the cage, that's where she had success. So I was like, what is Zarah doing here? Why is she not pumping that jab out at a much, stiffer pace, a much quicker pace and, a much more stiffer. She was dropping her hands too much, firing these little pity pat jabs off in these right hands. They were hard because they were doing damage on Josiane Nunes. Josiane Nunes started to have a swollen eye a little bit. The right eye started to kind of lump up some, but it wasn't enough to get Josiane's respect. She still kept coming forward. And I think Zarah was on the way to win in the second round, but she let Josiane come back in that last minute, and she started cracking her with hard punches, along the cage. I don't know what Zarah was doing there. She really needed to go back to that right uppercut and just start dropping harder punches because Josiane won't quit. Then going into the third round, I think she just started pushing that pace, and Zarah either kind of gassed out or she thought she was winning because she never stopped throwing punches. She never stopped throwing strikes. Zarah continued to pump this jab out in this right hand, but they weren't enough to get Josiane's respect. I was giving her respect for punching, letting those jabs go in those little 1-2s, but she wasn't throwing with that same intensity in the first round. You got to pick it up in the third round. So, Josiane just started coming on stronger and just started punching her way in with those left hands and those rights and just really kept that pace going and cracked. I believe she did hurt Zarah. I think somewhere the mid part of the third round, she hit her with a good shot. And that's where Zarah just had to kind of back off for a minute. But then she kind of recovered because, like I said, whenever you have to punch up like that, you lose a lot of steam. It's not like punching down. When you punch up, you lose steam on your shot. So I think Josiane, she still had some power, but not a great deal of power, because she was punching at a much taller opponent here. So I think overall, Josiane, she definitely won that third round, but that second round was kind of competitive. Zarah could have won this fight. She clearly could have won this fight dealing with this smaller fighter. She had the height and reach to go in there and even the power to probably get this girl out of here from what we've seen in the first round, but she let up, and it was nobody else to blame but Zarah in this fight. I can't say it was any type of rivalry. It was competitive all the way to the end, but Josiane definitely did enough to beat the bigger woman in this fight. Now, Josiane had trouble in this fight. Let me just put it that way. Now, if Zarah had a better ground game, she probably could have taken this fight to the ground. You know, she probably could have got this small fighter to the ground and just mauled her and just out wrestled and out grappled her. But she chose to keep it standing, which, you know, was a dangerous thing to do, and she paid for it, right? But Josiane Nunes moving forward here definitely showed me something that, you know, that the bigger these girls get, she's not going to be able to knock a lot of these fighters out, you know. And Zarah, she's definitely not the top featherweight. Well, she's one of the only featherweights, but some of these big women, even at 135, you know, Josiane's going to have to start chipping away like Andrade, you know, starting at the bottom and, you know, even taking girls down, But I'm definitely going to have to stay away from featherweight, I believe. You know, 135 might be best for her. She definitely didn't look like she was like big and strong at this weight, right? She just can make that weight, but she really needs to make that choice and say 135 is where I could be more competitive, and I'm small enough for it, and at the same time I won't be overmatched, right? Because like I said, the better the girls get, she won't be able to even give this type of fight, right? I believe Amanda Nunes will take her down if she tries to rock her like this, or Amanda would even like knock her out. You know, there's still levels to this game. Got to give the real Nunes credit in the division, right? You know, so yeah, Zarah, shout out to Zarah. I mean, she tried. She's on a 3-fight losing streak. I believe she should get another chance. I don't know if it's at 135 or 145. You know, I believe she deserves another chance because she was out for a while, for like 2 years. I believe it was an injury, and she just bounced back. So I believe she's still in the chopping block, but I think she deserves one more chance to, you know, try to redeem herself. There's Chelsea Chandler out there. If she wants to fight her at 145, they can make that fight. Eileen Perez got Haley Cohen problems coming up, and that's at 135. The loser of Norma Dumont, Carol Rosa, that's a fight for Zarah Fairn. So we'll see, man. Josiane Nunes, on the other hand, I mean, looking at her frame and her reach, she could do wonders, I think, at 125. You know, she has an unusual build and a reach and power that I'd be curious to see if she could carry it by moving down 2 weight classes, right? I mean, she's 5'1". I don't think she should really have any trouble. She's not really like this, you know, heavy girl, or even like a bottom heavy woman. You know, it should really be no trouble for her to make 125, in my opinion. You know, I think Andrade's actually a little bit thicker in the legs than she is, right? So yeah, guys, we'll see what happens from here. Let me know what y'all thought of the fight. Who do you think won? I do believe Josiane did enough to edge it out, but where she should go from here, 125, 135. Zarah Fairn, does she get another chance? I think she does. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.